Yo, welcome back. Today's going to be a bit of a different video. I'm just going to do an overcap of what I think of my van after owning it for 9 months. This is the 9th month owning it. It's a Ford Transit Connect, as you already know. The overall consensus of this video is the van is a great van. It's treated me well. I've only had a few minor things go wrong, which I'll cover on this, and how much it cost, the cost of the van, how many miles I've put on it, and then generally how I'm finding it. So let's get straight into it, straight into the nitty gritty. If anyone didn't know who's watching this, that are new viewers, I'm an electrician, day to day, day in, day out, tradesman electrician. So obviously loads of tools in the back, run my own business, used to work for Nick, as a lot of people know. So my van is 9 months old. That's when I went self-employed, shortly after that. The mileage when I bought this van, it was on 23,000, and now I'm currently on 34,000. So I've not done too bad. I've put quite a few miles on. Obviously not all of those have been personal miles. Obviously majority of them are business miles, to be fair. But obviously some of them are personal miles, because I did actually sell my car and chop that in against this van. Because obviously I weighed up the options. I did a previous video, and I was weighing up getting a bit of a cheaper van and just using it for work, for running around. But then obviously then you don't have them luxuries of when you're in the van. And then also you want to give a certain image off to certain customers. Obviously you don't have to give that image, but I think it does help in the day we're in today. So yeah, I wanted to give it a nice image and have a nice van ultimately. So I chopped in my car and just decided to have a van for all-rounder, because let's face it, vans are awesome. If you want to go mountain biking on the weekend, you can just throw your bike in the back, and yeah, you're not worrying about space. The only downside of owning a van is you get roped into doing a lot of favours, i.e. moving furniture for family and bits and bobs like that, which all you viewers will know. So I bought it on 23,000. It's currently on 34,000, so that's 11,000 miles I've done in 9 months. The cost price of this van, so it cost me 18,500 plus VAT. So that is a 3,700 VAT bill on top. So it's 22,200. Oh, shoot me in the face. I hate VAT, especially like a business who's not, obviously I only started going shortly after buying this van. So basically I spent a lot of my savings as such and chopping in money from my car on buying this van. Didn't fully skimp myself, but I spent a lot of money from hard work saving up on this van. And some of it went to VAT, which I'm probably not going to get back unless I start earning mega bucks and go VAT registered. But then that's even more paperwork. So yeah, the joys. So in total, it cost me 22,200 British pounds. So even though it cost me a lot of money, it's a real nice van. A bit about the specs. So it's a Ford Transit Connect, 19 plate when I bought it, with 23,000 miles. So real low mileage. And it's the top spec model. So it's got heated seats, Apple CarPlay, cruise control. Yeah, it's got auto headlights, you know what I mean? The list goes on. It's got absolutely everything: reversing sensors, reversing camera. So when I was spending that money, I wanted to make sure I got my money's worth as such, and I wanted this particular model. I wanted the nice grey colour to match in with Nick, and I just like the colour of that. So yeah, I did end up spending a bit more than I probably hoped to spend, but then ultimately I got exactly what I wanted. And after years of saving up and stuff, I just felt I deserved it. Another big thought which persuaded me to actually bite the bullet and just say, yep, I'm going to spend the money and get a nice van is reliability. Obviously a newer van, less mileage. I'm not saying it is, but 95% chance you're going to have less issues and it's going to run smoothly for a longer longevity because it's newer. So that's normally what I tend to go. My dad's a mechanic, so obviously he advised me a lot. So yeah, really that did push me to spend that bit more and get exactly what I wanted, and then also not have to worry about loads of issues going wrong. Like the issues I'm about to list off that have gone wrong are very minor. And then also ultimately it's a business tool, so you don't want to be waking up on your Monday morning, you set up your materials, you set up everything to go for smash the work for the day, and your van's broke down. It's just such a burden if something like that does go wrong, which I have witnessed. I've witnessed it firsthand working with Mitch when his gearbox blew up. It literally just, luckily I was with him, so then we went in this van, but it just messes up your whole day. So vans are ultimately like #1 tool for your business being successful. Obviously, getting from A to B, transporting the goods, transporting yourself, and then ultimately just being able to complete jobs. So you got to think of it, it's not just an outlay, it's your main business tool as such. It's number one basis. Whilst we're on the subject of tools for your business, which are essential in my eyes, I'll just quickly talk to you about Tradify. So as you'll know, that's my job management app, which I use to book in jobs, do quotes, do invoices, do it all in one place. Great tool, and it's literally saved me hours worth of paperwork. I literally love it. So what I'm going to talk to you today about is, so earlier this morning, I've had an inquiry come through. It's the greatest sound in the world when it like makes a little funny bing noise. It's like getting a notification on your phone. It says the customer's name has made an inquiry. Obviously, tap the app to open, and then I'll display it on here. I'll just blur out all the customer's details. So you can see it on the screen here. So it pops up straight away, description of what the customer wants, all their details, their address, their postcode, and then you can reply back to them or get in contact with them via their phone number or their email. But it's just such a satisfying sound, hearing that sound that someone has inquired to get a quotation from you, and obviously it proves that your website is working. So my website was generated through Tradify as well, and you can actually do the inquiry straight from my website. So that's a real good bonus with Tradify. And then just, yeah, it's nice that I've started pushing my business a bit further out on Google, and then Tradify's helping. So it's all running and interlinked nice and smooth. So if you want to run your business as smooth as I do, then you can join Tradify using code ADAM30 or the link in the description, and that will give you 30% off for the first 3 months. I forgot to mention, Tradify also offer a free trial, so you can try it out before you make the purchase. So there'll be links to that in the description, or you can use code ADAM30, so don't forget to check that out. So I've got some good news and I've got some bad news. So the good news is I've just been on Auto Trader looking how much this van is worth now to do a bit of a comparison, because obviously I paid 18.5 plus VAT. So most, because it's classed as a commercial vehicles, most vehicles like this are always plus VAT unless you're buying it off someone. Say if I was to sell this van right now as myself, I wouldn't be able to charge someone the plus VAT because I'm not a VAT registered person, so I just lose the 3,700 as such, unless I registered as a VAT registered business within the first 3 years or something like that. This van now is roughly worth what I paid for it, roughly within around £1,000 from what I can see, because it's quite hard to actually get this model to pop up, because it's like quite a high spec model, trying to find a certain one within the certain mileage I've got, the colour. Do you know what I mean? Trying to find an exact representative is quite hard on Auto Trader. But what I found similar, it's around the same price. So that's the good news. I've not really lost out any money. Obviously, I'm not selling this van. I'm not looking to sell it. But generically, over the 9 months, I've not really lost any money. And I've put about 11,000 miles on the van. So that's pretty good in my eyes. And now the bad news. So me being young, turned 21 in February this year. So I was 20 when I took out the insurance policy on this van. Been driving since I was 17 straight away. COVID messed me up a little bit. And the insurance cost was $2,600 for the year. Shoot me in the face. So I've got 3,700 of VAT and 2,600 insurance. So that is literally like 5 grand over that. Nearly 6 grand of my life I'm never going to see again. Oh dear. But yeah, not good. And now we'll show you the even worse bit about what I've done to this van. Let's go outside and have a look. Before I show you what I've done, which I don't even really want to show you, I'll just show what I've done changing wise to this van. So I've changed a few of the headlights, put my private number plate on, 3D gel plates, they are legal, stuck them on. What else have I done? Done a few bits of the bodywork here and there, just polished it up a bit. Obviously it's a bit dirty in a minute, but someone did have a bit of a boo-boo. I don't know who it was, but yeah, someone may have accidentally crashed into a little pole when they were getting used to driving this van round. But yeah, we'll not worry about that. Luckily, one of my friends owns a body shop, and I do a few favours for him electrically, so he definitely owes me a few favours and he's going to fix that for me. So that downside was a bit more user error, I think, but I'll let you put that in the comments down below what you think about that error. But generically, so I've covered the cost, what it's worth now, how much the insurance was, and then I'm just going to speak a bit about generally what I think of this van. So using it day in, day out, things that I would change personally. So the number one thing I would change personally if I was to design this van would be the style a little bit in the cab. So it's a bit strange getting used to it, but when you're in here, it's literally like when you're looking over. And I've not got my seat stupid. I've got my seat nice and high. So yeah, it's a bit like, well, this will put it in perspective. Look how big this is. But you get used to it after a bit. So that's one thing I'd redesign as such if I was designing this van. Number two would be the Apple CarPlay is great because obviously it means you're never going to touch your phone or nothing like that. So obviously I've got the wireless charging mat here, but believe it or not, I don't even have the actual wireless charging adapter thing. So that doesn't work, but I need to get one of them for 80 quid from Ford. So there's wireless charging there, which is really thought out. And then the Apple CarPlay, obviously you've pocket there for your phone. So that's great, but then it's not wireless Apple CarPlay. So then you still have to plug in a lead under the seat and plug that in. So then you still got a lead. The only downside, well, the only way around this is you can get a wireless CarPlay box, which I did look at getting one. But then quite a few people said to me they're a bit laggy. So I don't know whether to bite the bullet and just spend about 100 quid on one and see what they're like. Let me know in the comments. Do you want me to be the guinea pig and I'll buy one and see how they are, and then I'll let you guys know. So that's the second thing which I'd mark down as not the best. The third thing, this one doesn't really affect me, but I see why people say about it. So anyone that gets in my van, Nick, Mitch, anyone family related or anything like that, first thing they do when it's in winter is I say, all right, I'm just going to put my heated seat on to wind them up. So there's a button there, but it doesn't do anything. So there's no heated seat on the left. But then I fully understand why, because that seat folds up, allowing you to get 3 metre lengths in. So it's a bit like, I get because it folds up, and this is the only proper solid seat as such. But then it's a bit like, well, surely you can get some kind of heated material that will go in a folding seat, surely nowadays. Aside from them 3 small minor things, really, there ain't a lot else I would change. Hand on heart. Loads of cup holders. Loads of little pockets here and there. You've got this section up here to put all your coats and things, like a little, I call it like a trucker's pocket thing, like they normally have them above trucks. You've even got, which is great for me, fire all your receipts in there. Yeah, and then obviously your glove box, and then in the cab you've got a folding seat there. This one used to fold down and you'd have like a cup holder and stuff, but obviously I've just put the Velocity van bag in. Yeah, so it does work great really, this van, the interior. So we've touched on the 3 main negative faults that I can quickly pick off that kind of annoy me a little bit. The positives of this van, there is loads. So straight away I can think of is the cruise control. It's great, it stops you from getting caught speeding, stuff like that. My old car never used to have actual cruise control, it had a limiter, whereas this has got full on cruise control, so that's fabulous. Auto wipers, that's great. Sometimes it does go a bit mad, but you can turn that down a bit. Auto headlights, that's great. Reversing camera, that is a must, I think, for when you're not a must, but like it really did help me get used to driving a van as such. Because obviously naturally when you first start, you can just go like this, like trying to look at your rear view mirror when you're reversing stuff, but you don't have one and you're just looking in your side mirrors. So you're getting used to it a bit, but obviously with the reversing camera there, it just helps so much. Like you can just see so much, and like when you're in tight spots, say if you're going into a little bit of a city and you literally got a parallel park and there's like not a lot of room, yeah, it's game changing. But I can't say too much because I still managed to crash it, so what an idiot. So there's loads of positives to this van. I could literally list them all, but if you do want me to list any of them, I can put them in the description, or if you want to ask any questions about certain features, if you're debating getting one of these vans, then put it down below. Like I say, I'm not sponsored by Ford, I'm not sponsored by anything like that. I'm literally, this is just my personal opinion on this van. So let's move on to what I think of the space in the back. Do I regret getting a bigger van? No, completely not. This space in the back of my van is ideal if you're someone like-minded like myself who likes to stay on top of the back of your van, keep it nice, tidy, organised, and only carry around certain things. So I carry around a basis of stock. So like your generic things for a domestic electrician like. So I'd definitely recommend anyone as your first van getting a van like this if you're an electrician, because it is the perfect size, especially the way I've laid it out with the van vault on the back. Obviously it's nice and secure for your tools, your power tools, and then the rest of the space is just very usable. And then especially how I've done it with the pack out racking. So using the stealth mount bases, obviously they don't take up a lot of room, it's literally minimal. And then within, I think I've timed myself, it's about 5 minutes, 4 minutes by the time I've organised it into my garage, I can rip all my pack out, and then I'm left with a blank canvas van, just with obviously the stealth mount feet, but they're obviously minimal room taken up. And obviously you just keep the van vault in, but I've boxed it in so it's all hidden. And yeah, I've got a van, so I can literally, say if I wanted to go camping for the weekend, I could go camping in the weekend in the back, or I could throw my bikes in, I could throw a motorbike in the back, I could throw absolutely anything. So it's very versatile, a van like this. And then you also haven't got to worry about where you're parking too much, because it's basically like the size of a big car. You don't got to worry about height restrictions too much. I have a little bit with the roof bar on, but not so much. Whilst we're on the realms of security, I will just talk about quickly this. So obviously on the back doors and the side doors, I've got the extra deadlocks fitted, which are a must for a tradesman van, or even just a normal van, to be fair. People are just breaking into absolutely and everything now. They're just scumbags. So additional security feature you might not know you needed on these vans or a keyless vehicle. So this is keyless, you just press the button, as long as the key's in your pocket, it will start. So I'll press that now, and obviously the ignition will come on. I'm not going to start it up because it's just noisy. So yeah, blah. So that's fine, it started up. But people, if they want to steal this van, they'll smash the window, pull all this plastic off, plug an OBD thing in there, and scan the key and just code it to start up. So I've actually got like a black box around my OBD port with a lock on it, so then you can't plug anything in it. And then obviously you've got the security features externally. So additional security on vans is needed. So this might be flickering a bit now, it's just from the camera. Those warning lights there are just because I've not started it up and I've got the handbrake on, I've not got my seatbelt on, but I'm stationary. Mileage wise, miles to the gallon, so we are getting roughly around 40.2 to the gallon at the minute. So, and we've got just, well, half a tank, and it's saying 169 miles. So it varies, I'd say, from 300 to 400 a tank, mileage wise, depending if you're in eco mode, going down the motorway, or you're just nipping about your local town. Mileage representative is obviously taking in consideration that I do have a roof rack on the top. Even though I don't use it that much, I could probably take it off, but that is very, goes against you, like with the wind, like the drag as such, whatever it's called. I'm not that technical. But if I took that off, the people told me, and a few friends have told me, that they get around 45, nearly 50. So that does make a big difference, obviously, a big bulky roof rack on top of your van. So we've just touched on the mileage and fuel wise. So now I'll just touch on, so I've had this van serviced fully, partly just because obviously you want to keep on your service history and service your vehicle yearly. So I had a service done 2 or 3 weeks ago. Obviously most people do it yearly, but I just got it done a little bit early because it popped up on the dash. So I got that done. That wasn't too expensive. I think it was about 200, 250 quid, something like that. But that was like full service, so that was good. And then prior to the service, the only thing which has gone wrong on this van was the fuel filter. So it popped up on the dash saying water in the fuel or something like that, which can be common with diesels, because obviously sometimes you fill up at a petrol station and some diesel is like not very good as such, just from wherever it's made in the refinery. So it can be mixed with a little bit of water, or if it comes from the tank. I'm not too technical where it comes from. So that is quite common, and there's a little drain. We tried draining it, a little bit of water come out, but it was just the fuel filter was a bit knackered. So I put a new fuel filter on with my dad prior to the service. Already ticked off one bit of the service, and then obviously we got the service done, which obviously is just, everyone has a service every year on their car, so that's not bad. Obviously tyres as well, that's just a generic servicing thing. So overall, nothing has gone wrong. fingers crossed, saying that now. Overall then, what is my overall opinion on this van, or consensus as such? So generically, it's great. Would I buy it? Do I have any regrets? No. And would I buy it again? Yes. It's been great. Obviously, I'm keeping it for the foreseeable future, unless some great opportunity comes around or something drastically changes in my life. But I see myself being a Sparky for at least a few more years, learning some new different things. You never know what I'm going to do. But I have no regrets buying this van. Like I say, it's been great. Comfortability wise, amazing. And I think I've done a fair test. So hence I've left it 9 months to now come and speak to you guys and tell you the overall consensus on this van. And the back of the van is great. Loads of people said at the start, oh, you're going to regret buying a small van. And I've not regretted it one bit. The only time I've probably regretted it is when I'm not using it as an electrician. I'm using it as like random bits and bobs, like trying to fit like 4 bikes in the back or 5 bikes and a bit of furniture, like helping a house move or something like that. But obviously it's not designed for that, so it is what it is at the end of the day. But I'm going to leave this review here. It was just a general consensus on how I've been getting on with my van, as some of you have been asking me about it. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.